9 News at 7 a.m. starts right now.
President Trump says the U.S. is now running Venezuela after capturing its leader, but the country's new acting president may have other plans. And shockwaves are still being felt by the community as firefighters work to put out Friday's massive apartment fire to bed. And a live look this morning over Horsetooth Reservoir, just gorgeous as the sun starts to come up. We've got a perfectly timed Broncos sunrise for the game today, happening at 2:25. Thank you so much for joining us, for being here on your weekend. I'm Lauren Scafidi. Let's send things on over to Weather Impact Team meteorologist Jaden Knowles. Jaden, it's going to be a warm one at that game today. We're talking high 60s today.
Yeah, that's definitely right, Lauren. Make sure everyone is hydrating, but you might need to bring that light jacket because once that sun sets, of course, temperatures will be a little bit cooler. But so far, looking right outside of the studios there, noticing the flags here aren't moving so much, but I know across the foothills you are seeing those gusty conditions, and that is expected to continue throughout the afternoon hours. Like Lauren just mentioned, of course, warm temperatures, 68 degrees is what's forecasted. There's that record, 67 degrees set back in 1956. Along with that, the gusty conditions as well as the warm temperatures, they have now issued that fire weather warning instead of that watch. Yesterday it was a watch. Today it is a warning stretching all the way down the I-25 corridor along the state lines. But current temperature is already in the mid-50s. That just shows you we're going to have a warm day. 55 degrees right now at Central Park, and then across the state, a little bit warmer towards the eastern plains. You're seeing 43 in Lyman. Just this time yesterday, you were at 19 degrees. So a big difference already for this morning. Your day planner for this afternoon, of course, temperatures are going to warm up to the low 60s already by 11 a.m. Seeing lots and lots of sunshine throughout the afternoon hours. Then around kickoff, we should be around that high of 68 degrees. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some 70s out there. But later on in the show, we'll talk more in detail about what to expect as we start the first full week of 2026. Lauren?
Thank you so much, Jaden. About 36 hours after a massive fire broke out at an apartment complex under construction, fire crews are still working to extinguish those hot spots. The 5-alarm fire sparked Friday evening near Leetsdale Drive and South Forest Street. More than 150 firefighters battled those flames. One did suffer a minor shoulder injury and is expected to be okay. Power was knocked out for people in that area, and smoke prompted air quality concerns. At one point, there were evacuation orders for an area of about 16 blocks in that neighborhood. Denver Fire says crews will still be on site today working to extinguish some of those hot spots.
Multiple portions of this building have collapsed. We are still unable to get inside to do any searches, which would help us determine a cause and also search for any potential victims that are inside.
The building, named Harker Heights, is a 283-unit apartment project that started construction in 2023. It was set to open in just a couple months in May. It is now completely destroyed. The fire is one of the largest in Denver's history, and people who live nearby are still feeling some impacts and seeing the smoke as it blankets that neighborhood. 9 News reporter Colton Chavez has more.
I dealt with Hurricane Katrina in 2005.
It's a different kind of disaster, but the danger is still being felt.
Right, so I was about 100 feet that way on the other side of the wooden fence on a picnic table. I could feel the heat over there from this building last night.
Dustin Ogden is just one of the many people still rattled from the 5-alarm apartment fire from one night ago.
I drove by and I was telling Kathy about it. And I said, well, if you want, we were going to walk. And I said, well, why don't we go down so you can see it? As soon as we got out of her car, it was like, whoa, my eyes, I could feel it and everything and smell it more, kind of.
Smoke is still smothering the area as nearly 40 first responders man the front lines.
Through the night and the day, we're going to have crews here all night long. We've already got a schedule in place to cycle them through so we can keep a monitor on this.
And does it surprise me? No.
Mike has called this part of Denver home for 50 years and says they don't build them like they used to.
I'm a retired union bricklayer. I had 42 years in the trade. We used to build buildings that stand. Why? They were all brick and block. The only thing standing over here is the stairwell. That's it.
The 283-unit building was reportedly set to open in May. Firefighters were able to keep most of the flames contained to the property.
I wasn't expecting to really see too much of it left. I mean, half the building's still standing, so they did pretty good.
It just shows you how wonderful the firefighters are, that they were able to contain it like they have.
A danger still being felt.
I mean, in my book, that's a win.
Leaving a community feeling grateful for the first responders still fighting.
It could have been a lot worse.
That was Colton Chavez reporting. Investigators are still working to figure out the cause of this fire. They say one of the big issues is not being able to get too close to the building right now because of how unstable that structure is. New this morning, a Venezuelan court has declared an acting president, while Nicolas Maduro and his wife are in custody this morning in New York. Vice President Delcy Rodriguez has been directed to hold the office for now. Rodriguez started out under Hugo Chavez, also serving as energy minister. Despite a statement from President Trump that Rodriguez is ready to work with the U.S., the now acting president has rallied against Maduro's capture and U.S. intervention in the region.
We have something to tell Mr. Trump. Venezuela doesn't owe the U.S. anything.
Nicolas Maduro and his wife are expected to make their first court appearance as early as tomorrow. People in Colorado have a lot to say about it. Here's a look at the Colorado state capitol yesterday, where people gathered to protest the Trump administration's actions in Venezuela. At the same time, others are celebrating Maduro's capture.
We are not residents of Venezuela. We have not experienced their struggle, and they have their own unique struggles, and they have the right to fight them the way that they see fit.
As a Venezuelan American, I can't tell you how happy I am. There's tears in my eyes. We've been waiting for this moment since 1998.
Experts question the legality of the raid, which was done without congressional approval. Colorado's congressional delegation is chiming in with their takes. Not surprisingly, most fall on party lines. Dems are condemning Trump's action, while most Republicans are praising the decision. Let's start with Democratic Senator Michael Bennet. He released a statement on X that reads in part, quote, "The Venezuelan people deserve to thrive under a democratically elected government, but the Trump administration's trampling of our Constitution in unauthorized military action serve only to weaken U.S. democracy and make the world more dangerous." Let's move on to Republican Congressman Gabe Evans. He released a statement attacking former President Biden while praising the operation. He said, quote, "Every 15 days under the Biden administration, drug overdoses killed more Americans than were lost in the 9/11 attacks. Colorado and our nation are now safer." And lastly, Republican Congressman Jeff Hurd said in part, quote, "Any continued U.S. military involvement must be narrowly defined, legally grounded, and coordinated with Congress. I will work closely with the president and my colleagues to ensure U.S. actions remain focused, lawful, and ensure dictators around the world know harm to America will never be tolerated." 7:07 now, and when you head out today, you'll likely see some flags flying at half-staff. Governor Jared Polis ordered them to be lowered in honor of the passing of former Senator Ben Nighthorse Campbell. Nighthorse Campbell was elected to Congress in Colorado as a Democratic representative and then Democratic senator. He famously switched parties to a Republican in 1995 and was still reelected a few years later. He was known for his firm defense of children's rights, organized labor, fiscal conservatism, and advocacy of Native American issues. The 92-year-old died on Tuesday of natural causes, surrounded by his family.